Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wingcat Sports, and it's our weekly NFC North breakdown, going through all the games in the NFC North. Starting with the Lions, like we usually do. They ended up winning 2013. Could have played better, but a win's a win. They still keep themselves in the realm of a winning football team as they move on to next week. Goff probably could have played a little bit better, but had an okay day. Rushing wise, the Lions look really good. Defense continues to look good.
Yeah, I want to be hard on golf or harder than I should be. But it's the same problem that's going around the whole league. This is what happens when you don't really have a preseason for these guys. They just come on in the first 4 weeks of the season, or just them getting back into it, and
Yeah.
you don't know what the results are going to be. You don't know what's happening. Teams that should be in great position are struggling. San Francisco struggling, 1-2. Baltimore
Yeah.
1-2. Dallas looks like crap.
Your better teams aren't looking as good.
Philadelphia does not look all that great. I thought they would be really dominant. Of course, Saquon Barkley's doing awesome for me in my fantasy league, but I think it's just like I said, we got to be a little bit more patient, give them a little time. Goff is not, he's. I don't know. It's like I said, it's more of an eyeball thing. It's just he doesn't look in sync at the moment, and he might not be.
Yeah.
But he made some really good plays at the end, and let's just see where it goes from here.
Yeah, but obviously, like we usually do, more breakdown on the Lions game and the actual post game video.
Yeah,
Moving on to the other games, we're going to start with the one loss inside the division this week. Surprisingly, being the one loss that was inside the division. The Colts beating the Bears 21-16. However, Caleb Williams did have a day. He threw for the most yards of any quarterback this week. Threw for 363 yards, two
nice.
TDs, and two interceptions. So he showed a little bit better QB play this week besides the two interceptions.
Nice.
Still,
just as I got rid of him.
still ends up losing 21-16 to the Colts. They're now 1-2, bottom of the division. But I mean that's kind of I would say that gives you a little bit more hope in Caleb Williams with him having a day like that. A little bit more. There is potentially something there.
I think we do so much harm to these young quarterbacks. They better have a strong psyche because, man, I look at Bryce Young and I'm like, they get no time to get acclimated before they're expected to
Win.
just jump in and be effective. And it doesn't work like that all the time. Quarterback is a hard job. It's a hard position, and all eyes are on you. And sometimes you just gotta have some patience, whether you can't want to or not.
Now, Anthony Richardson did struggle against the Bears. He was threw for 167 yards, two interceptions. Rushing really is what carried them to the victory, with having 150 rushing yards and 3 rushing TDs. But for the most part, Anthony Richardson didn't have a good day besides a few really good passes. One pass went for 44, and the other went for 40. So, I mean, he got bulk yardage, and then kind of the running game just took care of it from there.
The Bears have a good defense. The Bears, they can shut people down.
Moving on to our next game, go to the more surprising as we go. Next up is the Packers beating the Titans 30-14. Not what we expected. We both thought they were going to struggle the second Jordan Love came out, but they are winning games, which is not what we expected to happen out of the Packers, which, I mean, good for them. It's going to make the division a little bit tougher to win. Malik Willis threw for 202 yards on his old team, and they ran for another 188. Malik Willis running for 73 of that 188 yards.
For a backup, he did not look bad at all. And Green Bay's legit, man. Green Bay's legit.
They did play a struggling Will Levis, who has been playing horribly this year. He threw for 2 TDs, 2 interceptions on 260 yards. So, I mean, there's also that to play into that victory. I didn't expect him to be that bad this year, but he's playing terrible with comedical things happen to him every single week. But that's good for Green Bay. You keep yourself in a playoff hunt, because if you wouldn't have been winning right now, you would have been struggling terribly in the division once Love came back.
I'm so impressed by the Packers and the next team we're going to be talking about. But, I mean, the Packers are damn. I mean, like I said, I thought, can you give us at least a couple years where you're not relevant? and it's just like we already got to deal with them, and it's not fair. It's not fair, damn it. The Lions deserve to have a 5-year coasting period where they easily win the division every year,
Oh, they
and
deserve
that
that.
doesn't look like it's
Yeah. Moving on to the actual surprise of the week, and somebody and one team that does not seem to be going anywhere with being relevant at the moment is the Minnesota Vikings beating up on the Houston Texans. We thought this would be a much closer game, with even Houston winning. They ended up beating them 34-7. They even got C.J. Stroud out of the game to end it because Davis Mills threw 12 passes in this game, along with C.J. Stroud throwing for 215, one TD, two interceptions. He was sacked 4 times. And the big reason I think why Houston probably struggled looking at it, the Vikings defense held them to 38 rushing yards on the
uh,
day. So
the Vikings look legit too, and I just it astounds me that that team just never seems to have a down period. Never. It's like God, it's not fair. It's not fair. These guys should be in the garbage heap right now, and they're
they're
not.
not supposed to be good. I mean, Sam Darnold, he threw for
Right.
181 yards, 4 TDs, got sacked 4 times. Rushing wise, they only ran for 118 yards. So statistically, CJ Stroud played better than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold just got lucky that apparently the Houston's defense was taking a nap whenever they were probably in the red zone
Yeah, it's just
and just
that.
got
But I
down there.
mean, even so, like I said, I'm glad that they're showing us this now because they won't take us off guard. We gotta, like I said, we are not going to have any easy
You're
games.
gonna have to be prepared.
Any no
Houston
easy
did
game.
turn the ball over twice, which probably also led
Maybe
to
Tennessee if we play them. We played them.
yes, we played.
That should be
But
hope.
but the turnover battle was won by Minnesota. 2 turnovers were made by the Texans in probably very bad situations for them. So that's probably what also led to Minnesota beating up on them. But their defense played well. You have good defenses inside the NFC North,
It's
and
gonna
that's what you're
God.
probably going
It's
to have
just
to
gonna
worry
be a
about.
slugfest and I got to get used to it. I'm gonna tell myself not to get too
Get your hopes
angry,
up.
lose it every week, every Sunday,
So
every Monday.
looking ahead at next week's games, you get your first NFC North divisional matchup between the Vikings and Packers. Can the Packers hand the Vikings their first loss? They are playing in Lambeau,
Uh,
so
that's gonna be a hell of a game to watch. I hope it's on TV. It should be.
it's a 1 o'clock CBS game.
It should
So
be.
should be.
CBS.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck CBS. What the hell? There are
Yeah.
two NFC games. It should be a Fox.
They're on CBS.
Why are they on? That's all right. Well, we'll have to watch them. 1 o'clock. They better be on TV.
So they're gonna be. I would assume they are.
Yeah,
I
it's our
mean,
division, man. So I'll be that. That'll be a game to watch.
probably the 1 o'clock Fox game that you'll have in our area will be the Rams and Bears.
Wow, nice.
So that's our 1 o'clock game, most likely, because Matt Stafford and again divisional opponent. So I would assume Fox Network will have that be the 1 o'clock game for us. If we do get the 1 o'clock game for Fox, because sometimes they don't give that to us. But that is your 1 o'clock game.
I'd rather see the Packers do it.
The Rams
Packers,
are likely going to try their best to beat them. Stafford going to Chicago. The Bears trying to be 500. It's probably going to be a decent game to watch, especially with how the Rams did last week, making a comeback against the 49ers, who are also doing their own struggles with all the injuries they have. But I think the Bears may have a shot to get to 500.
the Rams. People don't around here. They don't give Matt Stafford enough credit. I think he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That game they pulled it out against the 49ers, and I don't know, but like I said, Chicago has a hell of a defense. I mean, everybody in our division has a hell of a defense. It seems like so. It'll be an interesting game to watch.
Yeah. I mean, Chicago is actually favorited in the game by 2 points, 2.5. It's the money line. So it is going to be they're expecting a close game out of it.
That's
And
great.
between the Vikings and the uh, Packers, Green Bay is favored by 2.5. So they're predicting close games between those two
Oh yeah,
teams. When it comes to the Lions, they are on Monday Night Football this week. They are favored by 4.5. They have a 61% chance to finally beat the Seattle Seahawks. who are 3-0 right now.
Yeah, they have been our
So
nemesis for quite a while.
to
We have
see
not beaten them in the last 6 tries, and, I
that being
I'm very glad we won Sunday because, like I said, it would be tough going into the
there,
break.
there might be some momentum going into this Monday Night Football
I
game,
hope so.
depending on what also happens in Detroit come Sunday. Whether the Tigers make the playoffs, and then you got that
That could be
energy in the
that's
city.
amazing. I guess I do.
We won't talk
But,
about baseball. There might be some more energy if the Tigers do
the
make the playoffs. But looking at who the Seahawks have beat, they beat the Broncos, they beat the Patriots, and then the Dolphins without Tua. So
yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
mean,
say no amazing matchups yet for the
right, I
Seattle
mean, like I said,
Seahawks.
I'm hoping, um, I don't see any reason
In
why we
fact,
can't beat
they
them. I
they
mean,
beat the Patriots in overtime. Let's add that into
none of
there.
those
So
teams are any good.
so
But then again, like I said, the NFL is so crazy right now. It's hard to tell who's good and who's not anymore. So I mean, it's a big game for us. I'd love to go into the break 3-1.
hopefully some people come back from some injuries. Laporta did get injured this week. Davenport did get injured this week. McNeil got injured this week. So
That's football.
we'll see who comes back this week and who does not off of our injury report. On top of our, like everybody has been having major injuries. I haven't paid attention as much to the other ones besides Jordan Love, but hopefully we have a good week of football ahead of us. With all that being said, though, if you like what you see, comment, subscribe, let us know what you think about what happened inside the NFC North this week. And until next time, hope to see everybody soon.